Let's just jump right in. My name is Kelly Walker, and I host the Hustle and Pro podcast, which is about 8 years old here in the Frisco area. And I talk to athletes and coaches and fans, mostly about sports in this part of North Texas. So we definitely wanted to talk to you whenever the Dallas Pulse came on the scene. So you're our first Pulse player that we've had on the show. So welcome, Layne, to Hustle and Pro. So first, I want to just start with a little bit of your background. Obviously, you play for the Dallas Pulse, which is professional women's volleyball, playing in Frisco, Texas now. But give me a rundown on where you were before that, right before that, and then kind of before that. So what's your journey here to get here?
Yeah, I played collegiately at the University of Pittsburgh. I did all 4 years there. And then I continued overseas. I played 1 year in France and 2 years in Germany professionally. And then once I heard there was a new league starting in the US, I jumped on that and played the first 2 years with Las Vegas.
Okay.
And then now I'm with Dallas.
Is this your first time in Texas or this part of the country then?
I've played a tournament here before because I also play on the Canadian national team, and there's a big VNL tournament in Dallas that I've played in, but first time living in Texas for sure.
Okay. So yeah, I want to talk about all those things. I want to talk about the Canadian national team and your time overseas. But let's start with Canada. So where are you from? You're
I'm from Windsor, Ontario.
okay. So then what's your experience with the Canadian national team? And can you tell me about the levels? I'm not super familiar with the different levels of play with national teams like I am with some other sports like soccer with the like U15, U17, U19, and then
Yeah.
like first team. So how do you guys do that?
Yeah, so I played on the junior national team when I was 16 and 17, and then I made the senior national team when I was 18. So I've been on it for 10 years now, which is kind of crazy. We're just fighting for a spot at the Olympics, and I'm pretty determined to make it there. So I'm in it for another quad. We haven't qualified in a long, long time, like
Yeah.
since before I was born. So that's
Oh
the
my
goal.
God. So
Yeah.
that's the goal.
Yeah.
That's
So
like,
2028 LA is the big goal, and we have a good shot this year. We can actually qualify this upcoming summer. So
right.
that's
So
super
that
exciting.
so the summer 26 qualifies you for summer 28. It starts the qualifying
Yes,
process or
we
what?
can qualify. It's like a continental championship. And since the US is hosting the Olympics, they don't count, which is very helpful for us.
So 10 years on that national team, that's a
Uh,
long time when you're as young as you are. So then correct me if I'm wrong, but then is your national team coach your current coach, or you already knew your coach now here at the Dallas Pulse?
she was my Team Canada coach since I think 2019. I started with her. And then this, we just started a new quad last summer.
Mhm.
So she's not the head coach anymore, but she's still very involved in Team Canada. But yeah, she was my coach for quite a bit.
Then, so is it that was probably good karma or something that you're with her here?
Yeah, it really worked out. I honestly wanted to come to Dallas even before I knew that she was the coach. So it kind of was fate once I heard that she would be coming here as well.
Why'd you want to come to Dallas?
I just love the sun, and I don't know, I feel like a Texas girl at heart, so I just really wanted to come here.
What are your thoughts as far as like what you thought about it or what's different that's surprising you about being here? Only these few months though.
Yeah, I just love sports towns. Like I went to the University of Pittsburgh, and it's a huge sports town, and it feels like the same kind of vibe here. Like everyone loves their sports. There's so many major league teams here. But it was kind of surprising how big Dallas is. Like it's crazy huge. That was my big takeaway.
There's always sports to be had. So, did your
Yeah, it's
family
such
grow
a
up as a sports family?
sports family. Yeah, my family like loves watching sports. Nobody ever played professionally or anything like that, but we're a big sports family, yeah.
Yeah. What was your growing up? You play other sports or just volleyball?
Yes, I actually grew up playing tennis. Like tennis was my main sport. I wanted to go pro in that, I wanted to go to school for that, but I kind of just got really tall really fast and volleyball just happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're pretty tall, but tall
Yeah,
can work in tennis, right? Sometimes.
again, yeah.
Yeah. Do
Yep.
you know do you know who John Isner is?
Yes, and now he's here and he plays pickleball.
Yes.
I love John Isner.
And that he's really tall. Like,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
huge.
Yeah. When I see him play, I've seen him in person a few times and I'm just like, like, I get that he's covering a lot of space. That's all good. But I'm like, how are you
Doing
moving
well. Yeah.
so quickly?
I don't know. Yeah, I just went to there was just a big tennis tournament at the Star, actually. I just went
Yeah,
and watched.
I was there, the Dallas Open. It was
Yeah, it was awesome.
awesome. Did you love it?
Yes, a
Yeah.
lot.
So then how late into your life were you playing tennis competitively?
Till I was 18, so up until college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You played a little in college or just volleyball?
no, just volleyball.
That would have been an interesting dual sport combo.
I actually planned on playing my fifth year tennis at Pitt, but they cut the program, so I was like, all right, this is a sign. I should just
Yeah.
go play pro overseas.
Okay, then tell me about that. So where all did you say you were
I was
overseas?
in France for 1 year and two different German teams, so Germany for 2 years.
Wow. And so you were pretty young then when you did that, just out of
Mhm.
school.
Yeah, it was a very good experience, but I wouldn't do it again. After being in this league, it's just so much more comfortable here. There's no time change. Everyone speaks English. I have a social life outside of volleyball. It was definitely a good experience, but yeah, it was a hard lifestyle.
I'm sure, especially like if you don't know, where you are and how to move about and you're just trying to
Mhm.
play like yeah, it was probably hard to build a social life outside in a new spot.
Right. Like my first year in France, I was the only one whose first language was English.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Were they all like local, like French girls?
a lot of Spanish, French, like all over the place. Even my coach didn't speak English, so
Oh,
it's kind of just. I mean, I managed, but it was a little lonely, and it was during
yeah.
COVID, so extra lonely.
No. Oh, that's rough. And then Germany, how did you like being there?
It was a much more professional league, so that was awesome. The level's great, but once again, it's just like dark and gloomy all the time. The people are can be a little scary.
Yeah, not the
Um,
sunshine were looking
right,
for. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But I also got to see a lot of the world and got paid to do so, so I really can't complain.
Yeah. And then MLV came about. And so are you basically like the veteran because you've been here all 3 years that the league has been in place?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, you are. You're like the OG, I guess,
Yeah.
around here. And then so then tell me about this team. But tell me in your words, like if somebody hasn't been yet, what may surprise them or what are your thoughts on the experience of watching you guys?
Yeah, I think they'd just be surprised how like fast paced it is, and you really don't have to know volleyball at all to have fun at a game. And there's just so many big moments, big blocks, big swings, and it's just impressive to see, I don't know, athletes moving in the air like that. Um, and just the environment's pretty electric. We have some great fans, and they get into it and are loud and supportive.
Yeah.
And just so many points, right? Like a point is scored every like 30 seconds.
It moves pretty fast because like you
Yeah.
said, you're scoring a lot and the momentum shifts like before you know it, right? And there's some timeouts that stop for a second, but in general, it's pretty like a constant action
Right, exactly.
start to finish. And yeah, some of those, like you said, big swings, big hits. I'm like watching it like moving and like, oh,
Mhm.
ducking. And sometimes you guys really put your bodies on the line and get down
Absolutely.
on the ground and make some really incredible
Yeah.
digs, saves, whatever those are called.
Thanks.
Tell me your position and what that looks like on the court.
I'm a middle blocker, so I'm pretty much in charge of taking over the net, like defensive wise, blocking. Try to get my hands on as many balls as possible to make some defensive stops or just good touches. And and then I'd be available as much as I can on offense. It's pretty hard to run the middle on offense just because it has to be kind of a perfect situation.
Hmm.
But I'm always available and I'm ready to do so when I can.
So mostly you're just going up, not by yourself. You usually have two
No.
girls, right, to make like a wall.
Right. There's three of us in the front row, and I block along the whole net.
Okay.
The other two just block in their little areas.
So that's what your mindset is the whole time is blocking and defense. But
Yeah.
then it switches so fast. Like you go from offense to
Right.
defense within seconds. So you're available, but like the setter's not passing to you to hit unless something's
They
gone
will.
wrong.
It has to be a good situation, but they will. It's pretty hard to block a middle attack just because that's the fastest attack there is. Because I'm the closest to the setter, and just the tempo you run it is faster. So they want to set me when they can. It just we have to get a good dig in order to set me.
Okay. Are you ever doing the ones where you just like boop over the slightly over, like not a big hit, but just like a
Like a
slight
tip? Yep, I'll
hit.
tip it sometimes.
Those
But I swing whenever I can, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So obvious dumb question, but I'm sure you hate this, but how many like broken fingers, broken bones do you have from in your hand over your
I've never,
volleyball?
I don't know if I've broken any fingers. I have a couple fat fingers for sure.
Yeah,
Um, just jams, but
yeah.
never anything too bad.
When I see y'all go up, I always am worried about your fingers, but
Yeah,
you know how to do it and the tactics to use.
that usually happens with shorter blockers because if the hitter's coming like over top of you, it's
Yeah.
easy to jam the top. But I'm quite tall, so it doesn't happen
How
too
tall are you?
much. I'm 6'4".
6'4". Okay. You said that was a late growth spurt,
Yes, I grew in like my probably my junior year of high school. I grew a bunch.
but I mean, you played volleyball your whole life though, also.
No, I tried it in grade 8 and I honestly didn't love it. I just like was so set on tennis and then I got really tall, so I tried it again and it just had a whole different experience and I kind of like fell in love with the team aspect because I've been alone in tennis my whole life.
Yeah, the individual. That's cool. I just assumed you had always played, you know. That's awesome that you learned it a little bit later. Like
Mhm.
there's probably lots of girls, I don't know, at least in Canada where you grew up, is it common to like start volleyball as a little bitty girl?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty common to like specialize pretty early, but I'm definitely a different case of that. And I think it really helps me actually like I'm pretty much just playing tennis on the volleyball court and it translates very well.
The way like what, like anticipation and angles or what?
Yeah, I think I understand angles a lot better and even my arm swing honestly is pretty tennisy.
Okay, so then speaking of like young girls that play, this area is known now for the growth of volleyball, especially women's volleyball and a lot of little girls playing. So have you noticed you're seeing that in the arena that a lot of little girls are coming out to watch you guys?
Yeah, and that's like why we play. That's the best part is seeing all the little girls and like showing them that they can play pro in the US. Like I mean, I got lucky and they're really lucky that they can have I guess idols to look up to and like aspirations.
For sure. Because when
Yeah.
they see it in front of them,
Yeah.
literally in their town, they can go watch. They really probably believe in themselves a little more that it's a
Yeah.
possibility for them.
Yeah, a lot more real. And they probably want to do this a lot more now because the ladder, as I was saying, is overseas and it's not so glamorous.
Yeah. So it's a nice big step forward for women's volleyball to have all the extra leagues, the extra teams now, the expansions, just the continued growth. So then what's your kind of long-term look at volleyball? I don't know how long volleyball players play. I don't know how like long careers are, and then if
Yeah.
you want to stay in the game or have what you went to school for, if like what do you see your, long-term looking like?
Right. I've always said I'll play as long as my body lets me because this is such a unique opportunity. And I mean, I literally stay fit and play a game for a living. So I'll do it as long as I can. But my ultimate goal is to go to the Olympics. So
Okay.
once that happens, then I'll think about it. But till then, um, I'm cruising.
Okay, the Olympics. We just finished winter, so I know that's not your jam, but did you watch?
Yeah, I watched.
What were you watching in the winter?
I'm Canadian, so I'm watching the hockey.
Hockey? Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. I mean, I feel like for winter, they're all Canadian adjacent. Like you guys at least have
Yeah. They're all cold
more
sports.
knowledge of them than a lot of us do. So, what are some of your favorite Summer Olympic sports to watch?
I have to say tennis. Like any chance I can get to watch tennis is great.
I love it. What are like winter or summer? What are some of your, or who are some of your like Olympic icons or iconic like memories and moments? Because like I'm a Simone Biles brand
Okay.
fan. Like
Yeah.
everything, I watch all her performances, love them, but then also like obviously the big names, but like, well, they're big to us, like Michael Phelps and swimming, some of those kind of things. But so from your perspective, growing up, who were you cheering on?
Mm-hmm. I'm not even sure if I cheer him on, but Novak Djokovic just has such pride for his country, so it's
Yeah.
so fun to watch him play for Serbia. And then Team Canada hockey is just like giving it their all always. I know we fell short this year,
Yeah.
but they're just so fun to watch. so much fire.
Right. Okay, so going back to the tennis thing, that made me think of something. You weren't here last year, but last year's Dallas Open, that was at the Star in Frisco, the winner was Canadian.
Yeah, Denis Shapovalov. Yep.
Yeah. How do you
I
say
actually
Shapovalov?
Shapovalov. We
I
just
can
call him
never get it
Shapo.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chapo. Yeah, I
I
can never get it.
actually I grew up playing with him. We trained together.
What?
Yeah, I was like a big tennis girl. Yeah, and he actually gave me tickets for this year's tournament. That's why I went.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Did you get to watch him this year?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Yep.
He was really fun to watch last year. I had never been that serious of a tennis watcher, like, and I'd never been to like professional tennis in person. I'd only seen on TV and things. And so going last year was a really big deal. I went because of part of my job, I can go. I went like almost every day, all the 9 days. And then this year I went to several of them. I'm just in awe watching like the fitness level, the stamina, the long, like how long, and obviously how hard they hit the ball and the strategy. So yeah, but tennis moves along really fast too, which is fun when you're there because you don't even have time in between games to like move
Uh-huh.
around really.
Yeah, that's kind of why like tennis and volleyball are the most exciting sports to me, I think, to watch at least.
Okay, one last thing, just to get to know you a little better. When people see you and hear you're a volleyball player and see that you're tall, that's probably like the first thing they notice about you. But what is something, once people get to know you, what's a surprise or something about you that we wouldn't know?
That's a tough question.
Like, are you a foodie? Are you super funny? Are you like a reality TV girl? Like, what are some of your
hmm
personality
I
quirks?
do love reality TV. I love all those Netflix, like Too Hot to Handle,
Yeah,
Love is
Love
Blind,
Island,
all that stuff.
line.
Um, I my free time, I have a toy poodle named her name is Wimbledon
Oh
after
my gosh.
tennis. So I do a lot of stuff with her. We're constantly going on walks, finding new trails, and then I'm also very into pickleball right now.
Yes.
So I play that a lot.
The natural tennis
Exactly.
extension. Yes. Awesome. Well, nice to meet you. Thank you so much for your time.
See
Okay.
you in the game.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Hustle and Pro. Subscribe on YouTube and check us out on Instagram, and we'll see you next episode.